As you could probably tell just by looking at me using your better judgment, that I probably had it pretty easy growing up, and you are correct about that. But here's something about this whole food stamp debacle situation um, that I don't think most people are even talking about. You keep hearing the same takes from people that look like me, as if we've never been through any real hardship, and most of us haven't. But before I dive deep, and this is something you probably haven't heard yet, we're gonna have a little fun with this. But real quick,
I
let's just hear these people out, and then I'll dive deeper.
just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month.
About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't think that we really realize the depths that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to. I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers.
But because we have children and because aftercare and before care is too expensive, I've taken a job that's basically minimum wage. So
I still think, remember bring your kid to work day? I really think there's a easy fix for that. Just bring your kid to work day every day. Just throwing that out there. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
so that I can be there to pick up my kids.
This one goes, here wondering what families will do next month without food stamps. I work full time, have 6 kids, rely on them. I'm scared and have to act like everything's fine. Yeah, the 6 kids thing, that's drastic.
Get your groceries, or you know what I'm saying, you would have to depend on stamps. I work full time. Thank you. And I do rely on stamps because guess what? It's not enough money in this economy for me to be able to pay bills and get stuff that we need and provide for my 2 kids. So yes, I depend on stamps and I have a full-time job. So please know that people out here depend on stamps. It's not because we out here just mooching off the government. It's because we literally need that.
I work hard every single day. I get up every single day and clean houses, and I still rely on food stamps to feed my 6 children because the prices are so high. It's unrealistic to think about not having food stamps. Next month,
Yeah, there is something to be said. There's a common theme with the 6 kids thing. I don't know what that's about. It's a bit weird. I don't know how everybody's got 6 kids. Before I talk, let's go to the woman that looks like me, and then this will all make sense.
What are we supposed to do? Like, literally, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Nobody wants to give anybody assistance.
Figure it out. I'm so sorry. Maybe this just sounds harsh, and maybe some of you guys have just been babied throughout your entire life and never had to really struggle for anything in order to make it in this world. But fucking figure it out. I swear to God, this is like this whole generation of people who are upset that they're losing free access to food and free access to childcare or free access to housing or whatever the fucking benefit is that y'all are reaping right now. I swear to God, it's like that you guys have just always been handed something in life that you've never had to just figure it out to fucking make it work. Was it parenting? Is that what it comes down to? Did your parents never teach you that, like, sometimes in life, people aren't gonna be there for you? Sometimes in life just isn't fucking fair.
So here's the hot take. I don't know this girl. Maybe she grew up from nothing in the gutter, the classic story. But there's a high probability, more than not, that her family looked like this. More than not. And this is something that I kind of want to talk about that a lot of people maybe may not notice, okay? So when she said it's parenting, okay? Nestor's not here today, but guess what? He has 2 parents that are still together, and if anything happens, they have his back financially. I also grew up with 2 parents that if anything ever happened, they had my back financially. You see them? Now, I had it kind of in reverse. So what do I mean? I had a very good head start in life, and a lot of people do. A lot of people, kids don't just get it together. This is most people's existence from my point of view. I didn't have rich parents, but they were well off until they weren't. They're both passed away now. You get a car for free when you're like 16, 17. Okay. Might not be the nicest car. Some people got BMWs, not me, but I got a decent car. Okay. Everything was paid for. Okay. Always. Anytime I needed money, I always had to have a job since I'm 15. But if I needed $100, I got $100. Okay. This is most people's existence. There are 32-year-olds right now. They got to ask mom and dad for money still. 25-year-olds. They fall on hard times. Most people fuck up. A lot of people fuck up. They do. So this is something, how do I explain this? Because you keep hearing the same thing. And it wasn't until I lost everything. At 19 years old, I went from, basically easy living. You look at me, you got it right. You guessed correct. I always had to have a job, though. It wasn't that sweet. They didn't just pay for everything. I had to learn how to make my own money. But you were right. 2 parents who loved me dearly and made decent enough money to where there's not even a thought in my fucking head that I'm going to need food stamps ever. But the other side of the coin is there's a lot of people that did not have that. Their parents were on food stamps the whole time. It's passed down to generation to generation. So even if they were to go to their parents for help, their parents are getting help from the government. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of people want to talk like, they want to act as if they don't have a form of food stamp or never have. And I'm going to say the parents, it's a real fucking thing. Most people. And maybe it's a little bit, but we could forget what a blessing that is. Because at 19, my parents lost everything. I started to have to give my dad money. Like they lost it all, dude. Now my mom still had my back, like she was all right if I needed a place to live. Maybe if I need like $500, you know what I'm saying? Yes. But I went from having it all to not having it. But here's the difference is I had that through my childhood. So by the time I'm 19, 20, it's instilled in my head that I'm good. Like I got it. The head start was tremendous. It was big time. But I do understand, I don't want to discount because here's another thing, right? Let's say you're an asshole. You're one of a jamoke, one of these whiteys. And you're smoking weed, fucking off, Yeah, you hit your mom up, your dad up for some money, right? It's really no different. If you really think about it, it's really no different than some fucker on EBT who smokes weed, gets drunk, it's really it's kind of, I just want to kind of point that out because we could forget to look at that, right? Like I don't even have parents to go to anymore. And a lot of people never did. It's kind of where I was getting at. But if you want to get pissed about it, and I'm not saying I know everything about this chick, I'm just saying more than likely she has people she can depend on. But there is one thing where apparently 59% of people on food stamps are not citizens. This was a news thing. It's got music behind it, so I can't play it. But yeah, I understand all the illegal people coming in from other countries. Haiti. Not that I really give a shit, but it can make people upset. People who never really did have any relief. And maybe you didn't have parents that had your back and you've never been on food stamps. Awesome, dude. That's fantastic. I commend you. That's great. You did it. You came from the gutter. Awesome. Everybody loves a comeback story. But just for a second, if you really do think about it, I went to a really weird school growing up where we had like really poor kids and then we had like kind of wealthy kids, and I was kind of in the middle. It was a weird Christian school that went based off of what you made and also took kids in from the local neighborhood, that didn't have money. It was a church. They were a real church. They wanted to help people, right? But I remember my parents kind of having to explain to me when somebody was poor when I was young. And I remember wanting a new video game system. I wanted the new Xbox coming out, but I already had the Nintendo 64. So my dad goes, you have to pick one of these kids at school to give your other game console to. And I was like, what? And that's how they kind of broke it down to me. He's like, dude, you can't have two of these. He goes, he goes, you know, your friend who comes over, Gene, that was his name. You know, his parents are literally poor. Like they're poor, legit. That's why we give you extra money when you guys go to the movies or go here. You know, my dad would give them money and, you know, and me, give me $20 and them $20. But that's when I, you know, kind of realized one of those things where it's like they never even had parents to go to begin with. So I do think that is kind of an issue. I think the bubble's just getting to the point where, not to mention the flexing and all this stuff. I get that. It's a bit odd, right? It's weird. Flexing EBT on the internet. It's very strange. I agree with that. But just something to think about, because a lot of people with these hot takes, you know, I'm willing to bet you probably grew up pretty similar to me. And I wasn't rich. We were not rich at all. I've always had to have a job. Always. Wasn't like that. One shit sweet. My parents are gone. I paid my dad's rent for 10 years. He lived with me, mooching off me. Right? So he gave me a great life, though. Drugs will fuck people up. Okay? Drugs will ruin people and kill you. They're both dead. Wonderful parents. I'm just kind of saying I had the reverse. I had an easy street, and then all of a sudden, everything was cut off. But I had that instilled in me that I could do. I am, like, the head start was phenomenal. So there's got to be something said about the, about how many people are on the EBT shit. Just to be fair, right? And things do come to an end. Maybe people will figure it out. And maybe, yeah, dude, like, I've been an asshole before who's blowing all his money on weed and you know, partying and all that. And you have to, and sometimes you have to figure it out. The party gets cut off, dude. That's just life. I don't care if you're on EBT or not. It's just something to really consider. You know, fuck the comment section. I don't need to hear it. I want to hear what else this lady's got to say. It's like the cliche take from, it's just, I wanted to bring up a different perspective, okay?
Like, sometimes in life, people aren't going to be there for you. Sometimes in life just isn't fucking fair. Sometimes in life, you have to play by the system and play by the rules to get what you want. Some of you guys are just far too grown to be acting like this. And I get it. Like, when you're in your early 20s, it's hard nowadays when you see other 20s thriving with, like, $1 million mansions and all of that, but that's not normal.
$1 million mansions.
When you're in your early 20s, it's your learning phase. It is your struggling phase. It's like living on a couch, friend to friend to friend, house to house to house, renting bedrooms on fucking Craigslist. We've done that. I've done that. That's how I got through. I made the $8.25 minimum wage to be able, you know, with 3 jobs, overnight shifts, to be able to get to where I wanted to go. I didn't dye my hair crazy colors because I knew that I wouldn't be able to get certain jobs looking like that. I didn't give attitude to my bosses left and right. I kept my mouth fucking shut because I learned that, because that's how you get your way in life, unfortunately. There are some systems and some rules that you just have to play by. And, like, I get it. There are people who do get down on hard times. And, like, those people I feel so bad for. I do. Like, the single moms who are struggling right now, who just, like, didn't ask for this lifestyle and didn't put themselves, well, technically, yes, they put themselves in this situation, but it's been, like, a one-off situation. They were really well off at one point, fell into hard times, and are trying to use the system to get better. Like, I do genuinely empathize with those people, but that's not the standard that we're seeing right now. Right now, we're seeing the people who bitch and cry and complain, who have lived this lifestyle their entire life, and they don't know any better, and they're taking zero accountability. So fucking figure it out. Get a second job, build a better skill, dye your hair a normal fucking color, learn how to communicate well with humans. That's how you make your way in this world, is by leveling up and matching what other people are looking for to be able to earn more than that $19 per hour. Fuck, if I was $19 an hour is actually a pretty decent wage. And
she doesn't even believe that. She goes, but like I said before, I'm just going to end on that note. I'm not here with sympathy. I've had the party pulled from me. Both of my parents are dead. By the time I was 30, gone. I'm 36 now. You know, I've been through my own bag of shit. The party stopped for me. I had it all and then rug pulled completely. So, you know, and you know what? Over time, it made me a lot better. I did have to figure it out. But let's not fucking forget that a lot of people were raised by not so smart people. There's this weird business model with EBT and Section 8, and there's this weird business model with it that I don't know about. But it wouldn't be as big as it is if it wasn't some kind of a business model. It's very strange. And you know what? You should be able to, on $19 an hour, you should be able to be pretty chill. But unfortunately, you're not. You're fucking not. 19 hour is horseshit. $19 an hour is bullshit. I'll say it for you. She goes, $19 an hour is really good. Chill. Chill, dude. Chill out. I'd be working 9 days a week if I had to make $19 an hour. Okay. There is something bigger at play here. If you really ask yourself the question, why are so many people on it? What about all the people just coming over state lines, country border, just here you go. Something to be said about that. But anyways, hell of a talk. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give out some money. If you've made it this far, if you really need some cash, I just got monetized again on YouTube, and I've been blessed. You get what you give. And I like to help people. So I've been helped in my life, and I've had a lot of people help me as of lately. So go to my Facebook page. I don't care if you follow me. I don't give two fucks, okay? Message me on there. Either your Cash App, your Zelle, or your PayPal. That is it. Don't come at me with no Venmo shit. Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. I don't need a backstory. I'm going to pick like 10, 20 people and send you guys like 20, 30 bucks each. Instead of just picking one person, I'll pick like 20 people. And, you know, I'll send you a little bit of money. If you really fucking need it, right? This is a white version. Work for it. Well, this is going to take a little effort, okay? Just message me on Facebook. In the next few days, I'll go through and you'll just randomly get money, okay? And if I don't respond to you, then you're not getting any money. But anyways, hell of a talk. Thanks to everybody who bought a Caddy Daddy shirt. We are accepting EBT until November 1st when it gets cut off. Then I'm done. I don't get the... There's something weird about that, though. Like, so many people get it. There's some weird business model behind it that I'm not sure about. Just something to think about. I'm not trying to empathize. I really don't give a fuck, okay? I know what it's like to be a shithead who is fucked up. But I got my ass covered. Mom? Dad? You know, it didn't last too long. You know, by the time I was 19, that party's way gone. You know, it's done. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just something to think about. Something to fucking think about. Anyways, hell of a talk. Unreal. I'm kind of over the EBT stuff. I'm gonna drop it.